Hello everyone. My warm greetings to all the researchers in the field of commerce. I deem it an honor and privilege to be associated with this FDP on research methodology in commerce organized by Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. I am happy to share with you a few of my thoughts on the topic research in commerce, present and future. Friends, commerce as a branch of economic activity has been associated with the mankind from the time immemorial. But as a branch of knowledge or a field of discipline, it is of 115 years old. The School of Commerce established in Kolkata in 1885, Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics established in 1930, and the Postgraduate Department of Commerce established in Lucknow University in the year 1921 are the different milestones of institutions imparting commerce education in our country. In the post-independent era, the Government of India has constituted a number of commissions and committees to examine the usefulness of commerce education for the national development. The University Higher Education Commission, headed by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan in the year 1949, the Special Committee on Commerce Education, headed by Dr. V.K. R.V. Rao, and many more have endorsed a view that commerce is a professional branch of education. Even the first 3 5-year plan documents have also discussed the commerce education under the caption technical or professional education. Dear friends, commerce with an emphasis on bookkeeping, shorthand, typewriting has evolved itself into close to 200 courses with an emphasis on management, quantitative bias, decision orientation, and international perspectives. With this background, let me just take you through the agenda, that items I am going to discuss with you today. Friends, I discuss with you research in universities, research in commerce, nature and scope, focus, objective, sources and methodology, presentation framework, discussion, then findings, conclusion, as well as direction for future research. Now let us get into the first point, research in universities. Universities are the capstones of higher education system. In addition to teaching and degree awarding roles, universities are engaged in creating and disseminating knowledge through research studies carried out under the programs such as MPhil and PhDs. We also find the teachers in universities engaged in a number of research projects funded by various funding agencies. There is always a continuous emphasis on creation of new knowledge in the university. Therefore, it is rightly said that higher education is the world without boundaries, where knowledge is constantly generated and interpreted to advance understanding of the realities around us. While I was reviewing the literature on this topic, I came across a very unusual statement. I quote, "There is less of creativity and more of imitation and repetitive scholarship in the universities of the country." Friends, let us challenge such statements by embarking on the most befitting research studies, and therefore let us get into the nature and scope of research in commerce. Friends, research is as I already told you, knowledge is constantly generated and interpreted to advance the understanding of realities around us. This is the beauty of research. In addition, research helps us to extend the frontiers of knowledge, to be current in our field and thus impart the most relevant knowledge, to be ahead of the time, and to strengthen our teaching, which makes our teaching more appropriate and more relevant to the needs. On the other hand, if as a faculty we don't engage in research, we will be imparting the redundant knowledge which is going to foster the obsolete skills among the students. In this background, let us see what is the nature and scope of research in commerce? Friends, the research in commerce could be broadly classified into three main categories. One is called industry focused, wherein we are taking the industry problems, industry as a whole, or the sectors, or the companies. Second one is policy and program specific research, where we take up research on the policies and the programs as much as they relate to the field of industry and commerce. And thirdly, it's called developmental research, where we take the broader perspectives and try to examine the implications of those developments on the quality of life and making the voices of the less powerful people. This is in quick. I have shared with you the classification of research in commerce, but this is just an indication. Friends, the discussion that I'm going to make with you on the trends, research trends in commerce, present and future, my presentation is based on an empirical study. A study which covers a certain group of universities in India and see what kind of research that is being taken forward by these universities in the field of commerce. Since it is an empirical study, it's very important for us to know the focus, scope, objectives, sources and methodology of the study. Here the focus is on research in commerce, but it includes, when I say research in commerce, it takes in its consideration research in trade, research in commerce, research in industry, and research in business. The scope of the study is, this study focuses on the research in commerce in the state universities in the country. And research could be demonstrated in various forms like PhD dissertations, then research projects, then publications in the form of journal papers, book chapters, monographs, books, articles in periodicals, presentations in conferences, seminars, colloquiums, case studies, then working papers, and so on and so forth. But the research output in commerce in this study, we are considering only the PhD thesis and not the journal articles, not the books, not the book chapters, not the conference proceedings, etc. And the period of the study is starting from the date on which the universities that we have covered for study have been established till the cutoff date, and the cutoff year is 2017. And this study has set 6 prominent objectives to fulfill. Objective 1, to trace the relative share of research in commerce vis-a-vis the total research in university system. 2, to analyze the research trends in commerce across primary and secondary areas. 3, to identify research in commerce transcending the conventional domains of commerce. 4, to list out the short and long titles of thesis of PhDs in commerce. 5, to foresee the issues of research in commerce in future. And 6, to list out the measures for promoting research culture in commerce. Since it is a small survey-based research, we have banked on Shodhaganga, a reservoir of Indian titles and InflibNet. And such of those universities which have been enlisted in Shodhaganga have been considered for survey for the purpose of this study. And this study is based on both quantitative data and qualitative data, about which I am going to explain further when we get into data analysis. And this is a study based on a small survey of Indian state universities. We have adopted a convenient sampling while choosing the universities, and we adopt a very simple, descriptive, narrative approach in explaining the objectives and the fulfillment, and the data analysis. Now let us go to the next slide, which talks about the presentation of the framework. The presentation of this study focuses on three important aspects. Number one, selection of universities which we have considered for the study. Two, analysis of research trends in commerce. Three, promotion of research in commerce. And analysis of research trends being a very important component of the presentation, we have two important aspects. One, research in commerce present, and two, research in commerce in future. In the research in commerce in present, all the objectives that we have identified, they get a scope here for discussion. And similarly, in case of research in commerce future, the objective number 5 gets a scope to be discussed here. For instance, in the research in present, we discuss about the share of research in commerce, research across areas, research beyond commerce, and selected titles. In research in commerce in future, we bank on the inputs from Industry 4.0, and from that we try to explore the likely titles in the field of finance and accounting, human resource, marketing, and general management. When it comes to promotion of research culture, we have identified two important strategies. One strategy called as the institutional strategies, where we talk about the financial and non-financial measures, and second one is on the individual strategies. So with this background, let us get into the first point of our presentation framework, that is the selection of universities. Now let us have a look at this table. This table contains the information about top 10 universities which have been enlisted in Shodhaganga and whose contribution in research is phenomenal. They are first top 10 universities based on the research output. So as I told you, research output here means the number of PhD theses that have been awarded in these universities from the date of their establishment till our cutoff year 2017. Please have a look at this table, and I appreciate you will find very interesting observations. Point number one, the major share of research in India comes from North Indian universities. Look at the numbers. Punjab University and Aligarh Muslim University each contributes 14%, and JNU 10%, and Maharshi Dayanand University Rochak 8%. All this put together comes to 46%. So 46% of the research in state universities in India come from North India. Point number two, please look at the universities in India based in South. There we find Anna University, Karnataka University Dharwad, and Sri Krishna Devaraya University. All these three universities put together contribute about 28% to the research output. And thirdly, the remaining universities, for example, from Maharashtra, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Marathwada University, Nanded, Aurangabad, and Assam University, Guwahati, and Maharaja Sayyajirao University of Baroda. So all these three universities put together contribute 26% of the output to research among the state universities in the country. Now let me just share with you how could we proceed further based on this table. So as I told you, we have made the geographical clusters of these 10 universities into 3 geographic segments. One segment which consists of the universities in North India and Eastern India. Second segment consisting of the universities in Central India. Third segment, universities consisting from Southern India. And from each geographical cluster, we have picked up one university which among its fellow universities is contributing the highest research output. So from that angle, from the north and eastern universities, we have picked up Punjab University, which has 6,649 PhD theses. And from central India, we have picked up Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda, which has 3,129 PhD theses. And from down south, we have picked up Karnataka University Dharwad, which has 4,072 PhD theses. Now, with this background, let us get into the data analysis. Before I proceed to present the data analysis part, let me make one point very clear. The entire presentation here onwards is based on these three sample universities, and it's very challenging to draw inferences from these three universities and generalize therefrom, because the sample is very small. So with this limitation in mind, let me take you through the discussion on the first research objective. Friends, the first research objective is to examine the share of research in commerce to total research in the universities which we have selected for the study. And if you look at the slide, you get to know that at the national level, the share of research in commerce to the total research in the state universities amounts to 2.33%. Among these three, if you look at Punjab University, the research in commerce in Punjab University is 1.04 to the total research that is happening in Punjab University. Similarly, in MS University, Baroda, the share of research in commerce to the total research in this university is 2.01%. And lastly, Karnataka University, Dharwad, the share of research in commerce amounts to 4.76% to the total research that is happening in Karnataka University. It's very interesting to know that Punjab University, being one of the oldest universities, the research therein is far lesser than any other universities that we have considered for the survey here. So one of the probable reasons could be that the departments of commerce in this university might have been set up late, or the research in the commerce departments in this university might be going slow. With this discussion, let us move on to the second objective, research across primary and secondary areas. This objective of research in commerce in primary and secondary areas, we are looking at from three different angles, from three different dimensions. One, research across primary and secondary areas, holistic view. Two, research across primary areas, detailed discussion. Then research across secondary areas, detailed discussion. So these are the three ways in which we are taking the objective number 2 for discussion. Friends, we have now developed an operational definition for the purpose of defining the primary area and secondary area for the purpose of the objective. Such of those areas like finance and accounting, marketing, human resource management, and general management, which are the key constructs for the trade, commerce, industry, and business, we have considered them as the primary areas. In other words, research happening in accounting and finance, marketing, HR, and general management, we consider them as research in primary areas. Secondly, there are certain areas which are supportive to the core functions, and those areas such as small scale industry, industrial development, entrepreneurship, overall economy studies, and others, we have considered them as the secondary areas of research. With this background, let us try to analyze how is the data helping us to draw the inferences about the research in the primary and secondary areas. Friends, at the national level, we find that the research in commerce in primary area is 75% and secondary area is 25%. Now let us try to compare this national average across these three universities which we have selected for the study. For example, in Punjab University, it's very interesting to note that the research in primary areas and secondary areas in the field of commerce in Punjab University falls in line with the national averages. Whereas in case of MS University Baroda, we find that the research in primary areas is 85%, whereas in the secondary areas, the research in commerce is 15%. So MS University is focusing more on the primary areas. This could be one of the very simple inferences that we can draw from this slide. Coming to Karnataka University Dharwad, the research in primary areas amounts to 72% and research in secondary areas amounts to 28%, which almost is similar to the national averages with minor deviations. So to conclude from this table, Punjab University has the research in primary and secondary areas on par with the national average. MS University has more research in primary area, and Karnataka University has almost very close relationship with the national average insofar as primary and secondary areas of focus is concerned. Now let us get into the same objective number 2, but let us discuss at length the research across primary areas. So as I told you, in the primary areas, we are considering the research happening in the field of 4 important domains. 1, finance and accounting. 2, marketing. 3, human resources. 4, general management. And if you look at this table, if you look at the slide, you find that more than 50% of research output in primary area relates to the area of finance and accounting. Now let us first look into the national averages. At the national level, all the 3 universities put together, in the research in commerce, 51% of the research is in the area of finance and accounting, 26% focuses on marketing, 16% on HR, and 7% on general management. Now, let us look into how does these numbers appear when we get into these 3 universities which we have considered for our survey. Please look at Karnataka University. The research in area of finance and accounting in Karnataka University is 58%. That is up by 7% compared to national average. Very interestingly, the research in marketing area in Karnataka University is falling in line with the national average of 26%. In the area of HR, it is 14%, down by 2% compared to national average. And similarly in general management, it is 2%, that is down by 3% compared to national average. So this is the trend of research in the primary areas in Karnataka University. Let us now move on to MS University Baroda, and there we find very interesting, very striking is the research in finance and accounting is very low. It's 32%, down by 19% compared to national average. Whereas the research in marketing in MS University is phenomenal. It is 42%, which is up by 16% compared to national average. Whereas in the field of HR, it's almost falls in line with the national average with minor deviations of down by 3%. And in general management, the research in MS University is 13% as compared to 7% at the national average. So now let's get into the discussion on Punjab University. And in Punjab University, the most striking finding is research in the area of finance and accounting is as much as 62% of the total research happening in the primary areas, which is far above. It's about up by 11 points compared to national average. At the same time, the research in the area of marketing in Punjab University is far lower compared to the national average. It is down by 18 percentage points. In HR, it is 27%, which is above the national average of 16%. So therefore, it is up by 11% in case of Punjab University. Whereas in case of general management, the research in Punjab University is 3%. So as against 7% in the national average. So here again, a down in general management area. So the key takeaways from this table are MS University is focusing more on marketing, Punjab University is focusing more on finance and accounting, and so also Karnataka University. Marketing is being taken care of more in MS University. The research in the HR area almost goes close to the national average with minor changes, minor ups and downs. Friends, here I want to share with you some of the interesting findings we got when we were going through the titles of the tables. Therefore, we call this analysis as analysis beyond the numbers. We call it as qualitative data as well. In case of finance and accounting, banking is the over-researched area. I'm sharing with you the analysis of research in primary areas, which is beyond numbers, some qualitative inferences. I'm discussing with you on finance and accounting. Number one observation in finance and accounting is, I repeat once again, banking is over-researched area in finance and accounting. Point number two, 360-degree view of bank management is being considered by all the researchers in commerce who have taken research on banking. Name any aspect of bank management, there is a PhD thesis. For example, deposit management, investment management, liquidity management, credit management, recovery management, management of non-performing assets. Name any facet on bank management, there is a research. That is point number two. Point number three is, so in the banking, we have noticed that In the early days, more research was done in the field of cooperative banking. Only recently, we come across the research in public sector banks, and very recently, we see the research happening in the field of new generation private sector banks. But quite for a long time, the research in finance and accounting, which was on banking, which was on cooperative banking, was very much. In the area of finance and accounting, we have noticed that the research is more on financial accounting than cost accounting. In financial accounting, again, the popular topics for investigation by the researchers include financial disclosure practices, studies with reference to accounting standards, and popular ones are the segment reporting, then human resource accounting, depreciation accounting, etc. In the field of cost accounting, majority of studies are very generic in nature. The popular titles in the area of cost accounting include cost analysis or cost management. So these are some of the very important observations, qualitative observations about the kind of research that is happening in the field of finance and accounting. Similarly, let us look into what are the qualitative observations about the research happening in the field of marketing. Friends, initially, the research in marketing focused more on rural marketing, agricultural marketing, cooperative marketing, state warehouse corporations, APMCs. So these are the popular areas of research in the marketing in the early stages of research in commerce. With the advent of LPG, there is a shift in the focus of the research topics in the marketing area, and couple of topics include international marketing, consumer behavior, consumer satisfaction surveys, B2B business, B2B marketing, brand management. Then there is a very bigger and very general banner of research in marketing called as marketing policies, strategies, and practices. Under this heading, we find a number of theses in number of universities. This is one of the very popular topics in the area of marketing. One more observations we have found about marketing is, of late, the research in marketing is focusing on the e-commerce and digital marketing. So these are some of the important findings that we have noticed in the field of research happening in the area of marketing. Let us get into similar observations in case of research in human resource management. Number one, initially, the research in human resource management focused more on the personnel management and industrial relations. Later on, we could find that research in human resource management focusing on different operational aspects of HR, and popular topics in operational HRs being employee selections, employee recruitment, employee training and development, salary and wage administration, welfare measures, and employee performance appraisals. The third major area of the research in HR with the passage of time is on some new generation topics such as organizational culture, organizational development, organizational conflict, change management, organizational climate, lifestyle management, wellness management, job need congruence. So these are the areas on which research is being undertaken in the universities in the country. In the general management, we have found majority of the studies relating to the area of strategic management and SWOT analysis. There are also studies which pertain to management audit, divisional performance, and recently we have found research in the area of corporate governance, then corporate social responsibility, and topics such as triple bottom line management. So these are some of the very interesting research happening in each area of the primary area of research in the field of commerce. Now let us get into the discussion on research across secondary areas. So earlier itself, I have made this point clear that 25% of the research in state universities in commerce is on the secondary areas. And I also given you the list of what all are the secondary area studies. They include studies pertaining to overall economy studies, studies pertaining to small-scale industries, industrial development, entrepreneurship development, and others. If you look at this slide, you come to know that at the national level, in the secondary areas, studies pertaining to the overall economy is as high as 50%. The remaining 50% originates from small-scale industries, about 20%, industrial development, about 17%, entrepreneurship development, 7%, and others, 6%. This is the trend that we could witness at the national level with regard to the studies happening in the secondary areas in the field of commerce. Now let us try to look into how these numbers appear in each of the universities that we have selected for the study. The first one, Karnataka University. So in Karnataka University, the major focus in the secondary areas is on studies on overall economy, which is about 56%. It's very high. The remaining, 44% is from other areas in the secondary areas. So in small scale industries, it is 24%, which is up by 4% when compared to national average. Similarly, in industrial development, the share of Karnataka University is 11%, which is down by 6% compared to national average. And in case of entrepreneurship development, it's very close to national average. So national average is 6%, and in Karnataka University, the focus is 7%. It's close to national average. And very interestingly, there are no studies under the category others. Now let us get into MS University Baroda, and there are no studies on entrepreneurship development and others. Please look at this slide. Look at the slide carefully. We have only 3 segments in secondary research. Only 3 segments. One, overall economy studies, which is as big as 73%, up by 23% compared to national average, followed by SSI, studies on small scale industries, which is 9%, down by 11% compared to national average, and industrial development, which is close to national average. It's 18%, and national average is 17%. Now, let us go to Punjab University. And in Punjab University, studies on industrial development is the highest. Please look at it, is 35%, followed by studies in other areas, which amounts to 29%, very big, very high percentage. And studies pertaining to overall economy in Punjab University amounts to only 18%, whereas it is 73% in MS University and 56% in Karnataka University and 50% in the national average. And in small scale industries, it is 12%, and in entrepreneurship development, it is 6%. It appears that the Punjab University stands as an outlier in the studies pertaining to entrepreneurship development. So, with this background, let us get into the qualitative data pertaining to the trend that is found in case of research in each of the secondary areas of research in commerce, that is analysis beyond numbers. Let us go one by one. In entrepreneurship development, the major focus of the researchers in commerce is on the institutional support, the institutional finance, and some specific domains of entrepreneurship, such as rural entrepreneurship, agripreneurship, social entrepreneurship, and tourism entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurship. So this is a very common trend which one could notice from the research that is happening in the field of entrepreneurship development. Regarding small scale industries, research in small scale industries, majority of the research is on operational issues or the functional areas of small scale industry. Financial management in small scale industry, marketing management in small scale industry, then human resource management in small scale industry, like that. So we could notice a number of studies in small scale industries which pertain to the functional areas. In few cases, we have also found some interesting titles of research in small scale industry, and those titles include growth strategies in small scale industries, growth strategies, then technology management in small scale industries, sickness and rehabilitation of small scale industries, government schemes on small scale industries, and impact of globalization on small scale industries. And of late, we are witnessing a focus on micro, medium, and small industries, MSMEs. Let us come to the third area, third component of the secondary areas of research in commerce. We find that the studies in this area focus on industrial development which are region specific. They take up one region, a particular region, and try to examine what is the industrial development in the given region. These are all very popular studies. Then there are studies which are also pertaining to diversification of industries, role of industrial development corporations in the development of industries, role of state finance corporations in rural industrialization, and industrial estates. So these are the very popular studies we have noticed in case of industrial development. And in case of studies pertaining to overall economy studies, as I told you, they look at the economy as a whole or take some macroeconomic determinants and try to examine a given phenomenon. Popular topics that we have noticed in the segment of overall economy studies in the secondary area include: one, capital formation in a planned economy; center-state finance relations, growth of corporate sector, public-private partnerships, private sector participation in economic development, sectoral reforms, and very recently we have found some interesting topics that are being registered in the departments of commerce, such as 25 years of economic reforms, 25 years of finance reforms and impact on economy, 25 years of reforms in FDI and impact on economy. So those kind of studies are now being registered. Maybe 3 to 5 years down the line, we'll be able to get a number of theses on 25 years of economic reforms and the various dimensions of Indian economy. And such of those rare titles which we couldn't fix into the other domains, we have called them as other studies. And except for Punjab University, we have not come across much studies in the category of other studies. Now, let us go to the third objective. Third objective is research beyond commerce. We have seen a number of research studies in the field of commerce where there is no trade, where there is no commerce, where there is no industry, where there is no business, but yet they are the research topics that are happening in the field of commerce. Very interestingly, these studies in the field of commerce are breaking new grounds by exploring the developmental perspectives and policy issues. Friends, in order to take up the studies of this kind, where there is a focus on developmental perspectives and policy issues, we need to have an interdisciplinary approach. And it's a very, very positive development happening in the field of commerce, where the research is focusing on developmental perspectives. I have a list of titles from each university we have covered under survey, and get to know how is the research on the developmental perspectives and policy issues being carried out. And now let us take up the Punjab University. Please look at this slide. If you look at this slide, it has about 7 different titles. All these titles belong to the developmental perspectives and policy issues. If you can classify them in some specific categories of developmental perspectives and policy issues, we can classify them as studies focusing on core rural issues. For example, look at Panchayat Raj and Rural Development Institution. There is a study on the management of Panchayat Raj institutions and rural development. And there is also a study on rural landless laborers. There are studies on developmental perspectives such as industry diversification, banking for development of the backward areas, then transportation, interstate passenger transport, and very interestingly, we also get to know about research happening on project management in commerce, where they take mega projects and try to look into what's the impact of those mega projects on the social, economic, political, ecological, environmental aspects of this society. So that is about Punjab University. So now let us go to MS University Baroda and try to see what kind of studies are being undertaken by MS University under the banner of developmental perspectives and policy issues. Friends, look at the titles, about 7 titles we have identified, and one very striking topic is monetary theory management and financing. Please look at this. Look at point number 1. Recent developments in the theories of monetary management, a critical study. This PhD thesis focuses only on monetary policy alone, and therefore look at the kind of focus that is laid in the researches in commerce on policy issues, only one full-fledged thesis on monetary policy. Similarly, we get to know the theses which are policy oriented as well as developmental oriented. For example, look at power. There is a thesis on power sector reforms. There are theses on infrastructure development, thesis on public health, industrial estate, and you also find studies on bureaucratic organization and behavioral dimensions, which is going to transcend the confines of the conventional commerce. So this is the list of the research happening in the field of developmental perspectives and policy issues in MS University, Baroda. Let us go to Karnataka University, and the list is very big. Please have a look at these points, bullet points, which indicate the titles of the thesis where research goes beyond commerce. And I have tried to bunch all these theses into certain categories. Category number 1, studies pertaining to studies focusing on humanitarian issues. For example, look at, there is a study called as study on child labor. A study on child labor happening in the field of commerce speaks of how the research in commerce is breaking new grounds and penetrating into the humanitarian issues as well. There is a study on fair price shops and public distribution system in Karnataka. There are studies on poverty alleviation. There are studies on social forestry, studies on Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, studies on saving and investment policies pertaining to working women. Very interestingly, we have studies on, look at the list, studies on lift irrigation, studies on impact of Konkan Railway. So this is the developmental research. So this is the policy research that is happening in the field of commerce. And if you go further, there are studies on industrial development institutions, industrial estates, district investments, industry centers, and entrepreneurship development. And you could also notice a thesis on management of Jilla Panchayat finances, where we are also getting into the non-business entities for the research. And this is the development today happening in the field of commerce. We are now not confining to the conventional domains of trade, commerce, industry, and business. Our research is transcending and touching into the most humanitarian, most developmental and policy issues. So this is one of the very, very positive development of research in the field of commerce. Now let us get into objective number 4, titles of PhD thesis in commerce, short and long. There is no much, research output except for finding how short could the thesis be and how long could the thesis be. Just read those titles. Cooperative Banking in Punjab, a very small title, and look at the longer title in Punjab University. Meaning of work, a small title, and look at the longer title of research in commerce in MS University. And in Karnataka University, profit sharing in India, a very small title, thesis, and a long title thesis. I'll read out the role of commercial banks in financing the scheme for providing self-employment to educated unemployment with regional study of Hubli Dharwad Corporation area in Karnataka state. This is the research happening today, and I am sure the short and long titles are going to tell us about how our titles of the research in commerce are focusing on the theme, the context, the purpose, and scope. Now let us go to the next objective, very important objective, that is what kind of research is likely to come out in the days to come in the future in the field of commerce. Friends, I have made the point very clear in the beginning that we have taken IR 4.0 as a benchmark. Industrial Revolution 4.0 in its varied manifestations such as data analytics, big data analytics, then artificial intelligence, machine learning, 3D printing, Internet of Things. So in these various dimensions, IR 4.0 is emerging and disrupting the way that trade, commerce, industry, and business are being carried out. So from this background, we have tried to identify certain likely focus areas of research in finance and accounting, marketing, HR, and general management. In finance and accounting, for instance, please quickly look at those points. In the areas to come, the topics could be digitization, data analytics, financial analytics, then AI, artificial intelligence enabled finance, blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, crowdfunding, fintech disruptions, fintech startups, cloud-based accounting. These could be the new areas of research in the field of finance and accounting. In the field of marketing, it could be marketing analytics, digital marketing, social media marketing, experiential marketing, personalization in product design and communication, programmatic advertising, and brand reputation. Look at, again, IR 4.0, how it is deeply penetrating into the titles of these topics. Similar penetration of AI, we could notice in HR area also, artificial intelligence in recruitment, digitized work, rewards and recognitions, talent management, then continuous performance management, employee engagement, employee experience platforms, managing remote teams. That's what is happening because of COVID. Because of COVID-19, we are finding managing remote teams, and this FDP is also one of the examples of managing remote teams, and biometric time tracking and security, which is already happening. So these are the prominent areas of research in the days to come in the field of HR. In the field of general management, globalization, that is now that we are witnessing a reversal globalization. Look at Brexit, look at trade wars between United States and China. So new disruption is happening in the field of globalization. That could be one of the studies in general management, followed by technology management, sustainability management, family business is one more very, very strong areas of research. Then MSMEs, business ecosystems, and startup ecosystem. So these are some of the prominent areas of research which could appear in the days to come. Friends, these are all the pointers in the direction. These are all just the pointers. It's not an exhaustive list. And let us come to the last objective. So last objective pertains to how to promote research culture. So research promotion could be done at the institution level by offering financial incentives in the form of research grants, supporting FDPs, e-journals, faculty deputation to research studies. These are all the financial initiatives. So non-financial initiatives include constitution of research cells, research seminars, book review sessions, letters of appreciation by the heads of the institution, and balancing the workload between the teaching and research for the faculty. So these are some of the strategies to promote research culture at the institution level. So at the individual level, so let us remember charity begins at home. Let us not, as a faculty in commerce, let us not wait for the institution to help. Let us move on our own. For this to happen, let us imbibe some research qualities such as inquisitiveness, consistent thinking, open-mindedness, unbiased approach, etc. Let us also bring in contemporary issues of the world of business while teaching various courses in commerce. Let us carry out research-based teaching, and let us be in continuous touch with our stakeholders, trade, industry, commerce, and business. And let us try to convert the best student projects into research papers for reputed journals. And last three are very important for me. You please add a research component as a personal vision and be self-motivated. Fix up self-imposed targets for publication and move accordingly. So these are very general suggestions. as a part of promoting research culture among the fraternity of commerce, which relate both to the institution level as well as the individual level. So let me just sum up the key findings. That is, share of commerce at the national level is about 2.33 percentage. Research in the primary area is 75% and secondary area is 25%. A lot of research is happening beyond commerce in the form of developmental studies and policy issues. And there is a trend of short titles and long titles of thesis in the research. And now let me just take you to the research in the future research in commerce. Based on whatever I have shared with you, you could carry forward the research. And there are two areas I have identified. One is, please focus on the under-researched areas in commerce. There are a lot of areas pertaining to field of commerce, but still we don't find substantial research happening. And some of you could take research on under-researched areas in commerce. And point number two, rigor of research methodology. So how robust is the methodology that is being adopted in the studies, PhD studies made by our scholars? That could also be one of the studies. In that case, you need to look into the thesis in detail and try to see what is the desired expected methodology to be adopted and what is the methodology adopted, what is the gap, how the thesis could be further improved upon. So those kind of studies could also be taken. So this is the directions for future research. Those suggestions I have made based on whatever little survey I have done. Now the conclusions of the study, the last part of my presentation. So countries which dominate the global scene today are the ones whose higher education institutions, yes, such are those countries where the research is very strong. They are making breakthroughs in trade, commerce, industry, and business. Let us not forget it. Point number two, research in commerce should finally converge in bringing out factual data and drawing up new plans, taking up new decisions, evolving new strategies for the world of business in general and stakeholders in particular. We must explain, answer, what is the takeaway of our research to our stakeholders. Each researcher should answer this question at the end. That is a very important thing we need to know as a researcher in the commerce. And the third and the last point is the final outcome of research should contribute to positive socio-economic transformation of the country. This is the greatest contribution that a university can make on to the society as a whole. So these are the three important conclusions I am making from my study. And I will also happy to share with you the list of the references. I acknowledge with gratitude all the scholars of those works I have taken, drawn from my presentation. Thanks to Rani Chennamma University, and thanks to each one of you for giving a patient hearing to my presentation. Friends, if you have any suggestions to offer to me or any queries to ask, please reach me at sholapur_mr@yahoo.com. Thank you all very much for listening to me, friends. Thank you.